Oh, look, we're Stereo.
Hello there.
Good evening, everybody. So, no secret as to who worms for me, so you might as well see him from day
I bet
one.
you're surprised, really.
Yeah, yeah, don't fall off your seats. So, now you know it's Andy. I'm going to
Yeah,
hide him
I
in the
shall hide again.
background. Yep, and show you what we've got. You've seen the piece of wood. Well, you think you've seen the piece of wood. It's quite bland from that side. There's a couple of nice knots you can see coming round there. But as I go round a bit further,
Look at that colour.
there's a purple knot and there's some
Another one up there, yeah.
purple up the top there as well. But we've also got a little bit of burr. So that should be quite interesting. So I'm making the bottom, this bit, I'm not going to make it too small a base, not that shape of base, Chinaman's hat. I'm going to make it more, try and make it more traditional. And if I do get a little bit of breakthrough, so be it.
Yeah.
So it's on the F jaws, so it's not a massive lump. And fat fingers got in the way typing. I typed in 7x2 and printed it and realised that it's 7x3.
There's a
So
bonus.
yeah, so we've got an inch of extra to play with tonight. So I'm going to change camera, and I'm still doing it manually, but it should be
Yeah, of course,
that one.
Tom's coming up to his exams, isn't he? So
Yeah, yeah. So
start tomorrow, in fact.
right, so there it is on the lathe. I should be turning with the lathe in reverse so that I'm not covered in everything that comes off, which is actually that way. So I'm going to put some glasses on and make a start.
And I'll
And
do the honours
hopefully
with.
Andy can do the honours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Read out the register.
So I was the first in tonight. 7:34 I arrived. Tommy's Workshop, Norman Greenwell, Clive Rogerson, 3 times. Malcolm Douglas, Tommy's Workshop, Woodworm Pool, Gerard the French Turner, evening Gerard, Robert Dolman, Barry Chitty, hello Barry,
Hi, Barry.
Norman Greenwell I've said, haven't I? Yep. My memory's going, you know. No, I said Clive Rogerson already, I think.
Just got to boost the volume
Ward,
my end a bit.
okay, yeah, Ward Wilson from west coast of Arizona.
Let's see if that's better.
And James Crawford. Tony Smith.
Hello, Tony. Another club member.
Robert Dolman. Copperell Wood Turning. Martin. Yes, I think. Gav Sedai Woodwork. Hello, Gav. Jennifer's Craft and Creations. Evening, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Keep going through this endless list. Oh no, it's just jumped. Oh no, stop it.
They all keep chatting, that's the problem.
Yeah, and it suddenly jumped, and I don't know how far. Oh, Linnykins is in, so I
Hi,
haven't got as far
kiddo.
as her. Fred Gilliver. If I've missed anybody out in that list, I apologise, but it did jump quite seriously. Neil M. Paul Heighton, the Greasby Turner. again. This is ridiculous. Oh dear, excuse me. Right, I'll get to the bottom. Nick Castle. And that, according to what I've seen, is all everybody. If I've missed anybody out, just put a little note in and I'll give you a shout. Because it did jump twice quite severely. It's a real pain when it does that.
I tell you what, it's hard.
Is it?
Carl, not much. But you'd expect that with several knots in it, though, wouldn't you?
Well, yes. It's a nice looking piece. It'll be a nice looking piece of timber by the time you finish with it.
Yeah.
A wood turning by Barry is in. There's somebody else I've just discovered. Colin Izzard. Katie, Cornish maid.
Hi, Katie. No club tonight.
Robert Dolman saying, Andy, give up the big cigars. I gave all that up 7 years ago, Robert. I've just had a bit of a cold, that's all. Nothing to worry about.
Nothing life-threatening.
Yeah, as Clive Rogerson says, Andy, these tests of memory are supposed to be good for you. I missed Malcolm Douglas. Malcolm, I do apologise.
If it was only one you missed, that was quite good.
Yeah, it's pretty good because it was a serious jump. Oh, Lionel's in. Letelier de Leo. Evening, Lionel.
Good evening, everybody.
Woodworm Paul, did I say him? I can't
Yes.
remember. I did, right.
Well, I heard it.
Okay, good. You just get neurotic about it. When you miss one, you think, how many more have I
Yeah.
missed?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of the list, so.
If you haven't appeared on the register, please stand up and make yourself known.
Say, I'm here, sir.
Going to need to stop this a few times just to see how far we are getting to be round.
Jennifer's saying, congratulations, Gavin Mel. Not sure what for. It was put on hold, so I've released it.
Okay.
But I'm not quite sure what it's about. But Jennifer wouldn't do anything nasty, would she?
I wouldn't have thought so. She's not that sort of girl.
Oh,
Well,
Douglas
so we're
Wong and
told.
me, Andy, I'm here. Yep. I believe everything I'm told. Not. Oh, didn't hear what the wood is, Gerard. I don't think
No,
he
no
actually
one's
said it, but
told you yet.
I'll give you one guess, basically.
What would you expect it to be?
Oh, Chris says hi, everyone. Benjamin
Chris.
is in.
Oh, from
Chris, as in
Cornish
Maid.
Chris.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, Cornish Maid says Chris says hi, everyone. So Katie says that. Oh, Gav is a granddad. Well done, Gav. It's great. Your life is not your own from now on, then.
I'm going to make this side a fraction smaller. Can you? Yes, you can just see the bark there. I've only got to go about 3 mil, so I'm going to take a skim off the side just to get rid of that bit of bark.
Yes, it does. It doesn't do much, does it?
Well, it does. It pokes you in the eye.
Yeah. Well, yes, that. Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't add anything to the shape.
Oh no.
The bottom one looks more interesting, but. Oh, I think Andrew Wivy. Yes, I've missed that one. Wivy's Woodshed is in. Good evening, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
I just caught a glimpse of somebody saying hello to him. So.
Even though I'm using my 1/2 inch bowl gouge, you see the hairs that I'm getting off through it being sharp and presenting it at more of a shear cut angle,
Hmm.
just like cotton coming off the side of it. So hopefully there won't be a lot of sanding.
Which is always a bonus.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sanding because I got a little bit of ridge in there. But
A
no, I've
question from. Sorry, go
still
on.
got to go deeper.
A
Go on.
question from Clive Rogerson. There's some yew coming up at our club auction. Anything
Yes.
to watch out for when selecting yew logs?
Are they green or are they dry? If they're green, the question I would ask is when was it cut?
Yeah,
If it was cut spring, I would be a little bit dubious and wouldn't offer so much. If it was cut autumn winter, they're worth more because the sap's already risen
yeah. They'll be much more stable, won't they?
and yeah, they're a
He
lot more
thinks
stable.
it's about 1 year down. He
Well,
thinks.
that shouldn't be too bad then. Make sure it's in long enough pieces.
If you've got
Um,
a moisture tester, it's worth taking it along and just sticking it in one of them. Give you some idea of the moisture content if you've got access to one. I'm amazed how often I use mine. It's only cheap, but it does give you an idea.
any
Brian,
indication is better than none.
absolutely. Brian at Hartwood Turnings in. You can also
Evening,
tell from the
Brian.
weight a bit because obviously water weighs more, but it's not an accurate way of doing it. Hello, Brian.
No, because yew can be quite dense in some
That's right.
growths, and depending where it's growing or grown, as to how dense it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still there. It will go.
No, you can purchase these moisture meters very cheaply these days. I got it on the internet from somewhere, and it was about 20 quid or less. It was not expensive. I think it's something everyone should have. I think so. You know exactly what you're dealing with them.
Well, if you're dealing with onshore wood, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Most of
given a
my
lot of
wood,
my.
I know
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be dry.
But I'm given a lot of mine, and I have no idea when it was cut down or where it's come from or anything about it. So the very least I can find out is how wet it is.
Success. You've got there.
Good,
That's
good.
that's
That's
the
a nice
shape
shape
of the
actually.
outside.
I
Yeah,
like that.
I think
How are the knots looking?
a bit awkward across there, so I'm just going to put the negative rake scraper on it
Hmm.
just to ease that last
It's
few
always
little
that
tram lines
ingrained
off of it.
ingrained bit,
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. So,
Benjamin is in. Oh no, I think he
hello,
was in
Ben.
already, wasn't he? He says,
This
"Do
is
you have
a.
enough sealer spray, Keith?"
I haven't got a lot. That one's empty. It's just that it hasn't got to the bin yet.
Yeah.
I should
I've
be
just.
topping up when I go up to the Chestnut Weekender.
Yeah, I restocked just recently because I wasn't going to last till then.
Right,
I've
I
no
think.
doubt I shall want some other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's better. It's got rid of the ridges. So all I need to do now
Wood
is
Turnings by Barry says, "Could you use a bigger scraper, Keith?"
I could if I'd got one.
Yeah.
Put a mortise in there now. So I've already got the dividers set up. Left leg. Which one's blunt? That one. Left leg in. Right leg's hovering.
Yes, I've got one blunt one and one sharp one on mine.
Yeah, I tend to use the parting tool to get in a bit, particularly on you
Yeah.
when it's hard. And then I've got a bidan or something similar. Can just about get a bowl gouge or a spindle gouge in there, but it's not a big access.
No, it's not, is it? Not for the F-jaws, no.
No, I think did we say it was about 36 or something?
It's something like, I've got the bit of
Not
paper
even that.
here, actually.
Yeah.
I have, 38.
38, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Clive Rogerson says, which day are you going to Swindon for the weekender? Well, I can
both.
answer that. Keith's going for both, and I'm going to be there for Sunday. I've got a wedding on the Saturday, so I
Right,
wasn't
so
allowed
that's got
to get out of
a
it.
nice corner in there. And just to finish the bottom, I'll put a pair of scratches on it.
Benjamin's just saying he's bought an HSS blank from Amazon to make a chunky scraper, 10 by 40 by 200 mil. That would be a good size. That would be nice and heavy.
Nice bit of weight to it, yeah.
Yeah, decent handle on it, and you'll like that.
If you don't, post it down south.
I was going to say, yeah, we can make use of it. Yeah, no, but a good, nice heavy scraper is great.
Takes the bounce out.
Yeah.
Which is half the reason you need to use a scraper, because it's bouncing. Bit of 80 grit. I'm not proud.
Yeah.
I've got it, so I use it. And it's surprising what that is showing up. I don't know whether I can get this up and across. Bear with me, guys. It'll all come back into focus in a minute. Hopefully.
We'll all be seasick, dashing out the door, but you know.
Yeah.
Hey, risky take. That's going to
You
be
can
nice.
see the lines in it.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm trying to sand out. They're not big, but you all know that it's easy to get a slight mark on it. So the other thing I would say is don't use old or exceptionally old glass paper, abrasive paper. It's not worth it.
Clive Rogerson says he's due to be lurking on the Berkshire BWA stand on the Sunday.
Right.
So I've no doubt we shall see you then, Clive. But you'll recognise me before I recognise you. So
yeah,
just give a shout. And Keith.
Same with me. Yeah.
Just give us a shout, because it's lovely meeting people that you only see as a name.
Well, it's nice to put a face to a name.
Yeah, Benjamin has paid 25 quid for that lump of steel. So
right.
That makes a cheap scraper then, doesn't it? A lot of work to do, but it's a cheap scraper.
I can't put my hands on it.
Yes, looking forward to it, Clive.
Yes, after sort of 2 years off. I know we went last year, and that was pretty good.
Again, I only went for one day because I had something else on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robin's coming down with me this year again.
Again, right. So just swapped over to 120. The other trick on you is don't generate any heat, because you will get shakes and cracks everywhere.
Heat is the enemy.
It is the worst thing you can have. It's better to take an extra 4 or 5 minutes sanding it.
Yeah.
Than to rush it.
That's going to have colours all over the place, isn't it? Just looking at it.
Yeah.
It's going to be lovely.
Yeah, there's a bit of a
sanding sealer to go on. Oh, slight
right through
there,
through the heart of that
through
knot.
the knot. Yeah. It's the usual.
Can't do anything about that.
Shrinkage again, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's one that's sort of open a bit, and three on that one. But
It's
hey ho, am I
all
worried?
quite normal, isn't it?
Yep. So I've been sanding in reverse, so now I'll sand it in forward.
Oh, he's very brave. He's going to make his scraper a double-ended scraper like the John Jordan one, which is not something I'm familiar with, but sounds
You
dangerous.
got obviously got enough metal to hold then.
Yeah, sounds dangerous to me.
I think the John Jordan one's about 18 inches long,
Oh, really? Yeah.
so that he can do it.
I can't remember how long, how big the Ben said the bit of steel was. Oh, 200. Oh no, 200 mil. That's not long enough.
It's only 8 inches.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No.
I don't
So,
think. Word to the wise.
mm,
Unless you got some very strong leather gloves you can wear.
that's 240. I'm just going to tickle it with a bit of 400. Now we can dust it off.
You can see that's not 2 inches now, can't you?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, it looks more like 4. But
No,
it's just
it's
because of the
definitely 3.
yeah, it's camera angles and things, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Don't think there's a little bit in that one. So much a little bit that it's run out already. I happen to have the reserve.
That's all right then.
Something like that. Let that flash off. And while that's going, I'll uncover the polishing medium. So tonight we will be using.
Ben says the John Jordan scraper is very short.
All right.
Does it have something to cover the sharp end that you're holding?
So we're
And there's
using
some.
Librons fine
Oh right,
paste
yeah.
bison
Sorry.
wax. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, no, it's all right. No, I was just asking whether it's got a handle of some sort that covers the sharp edge that's towards you.
Right, so I've dropped the speed right down.
Nick Castle is asking what is the benefit of spray sealant?
It dries quick,
Mm.
particularly on something like this that we're doing live. If I was working on my own in the workshop, I've got the traditional, can't quite see it, but that's the shellac
Yeah.
sanding sealer, which I still like to use. That just needs time to dry. It's not a 5-minute dry.
Woody Turner is in.
Hi, Woody. How are you, Terence? He's my mate from up north that does pens.
Oh right, yeah.
Pens, supports and supplies pens and the like. I've just sent a load, Terence, to Elizabeth, which she received today. I know that because I've seen the letter from the postman to say that he's delivered them. So that should keep Bishop's Langley, I think it's what they call themselves, busy for a little while. Keep them off your neck for a little while anyway.
Yeah.
But we do quite a bit together, and a lot of the blanks that bowl blanks that Woody gets is what I send up to him, and he turns them and sells them, auctions them off. They're nearly all auctioned off
All
for
right, yeah.
the forces.
Mm-hmm.
We don't differentiate. They're all forces.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just completed his first 10 years of quad bypass. So,
Oh, really?
well done,
Yeah, well done.
my man.
I'm a few years ahead, but I only had a triple though. So
I think it was a quad he said he had.
yeah, could be. Yeah, it goes up to 4.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. They only decided I only needed 3.
Uh-huh.
But if it's any encouragement to you, I've had 22 years now since mine was done, and I'm still feeling fine.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yes. Right, the blade is stored in a short handle. It has opposing 45-degree miters, so you can shear scrape from either side of a curve. You take out the blade, flip it, and put it back in the handle. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So there is a handle. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so there's got to be a handle, yeah.
Yes, I'm happier about that.
Well, I was just thinking of next week's headlines.
yeah,
Mr. Jamming is stuffed on the end of a scraper.
Yes, I've not seen the one he's talking about at all.
I think I know what the one he means.
It's quite short, isn't it? But if
But
it
they're
works,
Americans, yeah.
if it works and it's safe, then fine.
Built like cattle wranglers, so
Yeah,
what do you expect? Right. Outside done.
that's nice and shiny, isn't it? Good old you.
There's the 2 natural branches.
Yep, and look at
There's
that.
the purple.
That is stunning, and that
And
one.
there's a bit of purple up the top there.
Absolutely
So
stunning.
let's whip that off. Remount it. As there's wax in there, just spin it round a couple of times.
Looks almost painted on, that purple, doesn't it?
Yeah, so
I've
it
never seen it quite so distinct.
clears all the crap out of there. So
Yep.
hopefully we get a decent fit. Now I think I need to come back just a fraction.
That's better. Yeah.
I think I can work from there. If I shoulder butt it, you'll have to let me know.
Ash at Kitey's Shed is in.
Hello, mate.
Good evening, Ash.
Welcome to the madhouse.
Roy's the boy is in as well. Sorry, Roy, I missed
Yeah,
you.
he said he was going to be back.
He did. You're right, and he is.
And he's
True
made
to
it.
his word. Nearly missed him though.
That's not feeling very nice. That can go down there, out the way. Let's find another one that's sharp. See how sharp this one is. It's better. Look at that, it's cutting.
That's another miracle.
Now I don't want to take too big a cut, as there's 4 or 5 knots that we know of. The last thing I want is this tearing itself out of the chuck.
Yep.
So I'm going to work my way down it gingerly.
Ward Wilson is asking the The usual question: why do you leave the ring on?
You can answer that one, Andy.
I can answer that if you like. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in case of any accidents. I like if Keith was to hit one of these knots rather hard and it came off the lathe, with that ring still on there, you've still got a centre and you've got a chance to repair the bottom and put it back on the lathe. And that's Keith's thinking.
It works for me.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
It's worked for several students that I've had that have got impatient. They've got in there, chisel straight on its back, fully open, jam. Oh, what happened?
Yes. Oops.
Yeah, driver error.
Yeah, you can do that with you, Roy, but you have to be a bit careful. That they look like nice big cuts. He's saying. You
Right,
can
they're not.
with a sharp tool. They're not particularly big, but the sharp tool you can cut a substantial amount. But you do have to be a bit careful when you come across a knot, which Keith is being, of course.
I think the biggest one on there is about 4 mil, and the finest one is less than a 1 mil. So they're not big cuts. I could take a lot bigger. I could use the whole wing, which is nearly a ½ inch cut. But I don't
Katie,
need the macho badge tonight.
Katie says very shiny, and Douglas Mungham asks the question: Keith, have you ever thought about coring?
Yes, but not on something this small. I have got a coring system. I was thinking I might dig it out for a day and just run a couple of cores so that you guys can see it. It's the one I've got is the Axminster one, which I believe is the Aussie one. I think it comes with 2 blades, so you can get 2 diameters.
Oh right,
But
yeah.
generally speaking, the smallest you can core is about 8 inches, unless you're just looking for a saucer.
Yeah. This is not worth all the hassle for anything smaller, because you won't have any timber worth using, will you?
Right, let's have a look, see what that looks like inside, because I can't see a lot. Because my glasses are fogged up one side. So, monovision. You can see the purple breaking through there and down there.
Doug Miller's just come in.
Hello, Doug.
I'd wood spun round.
I'm going to have to push you back in a bit, guys. I think we can still adjust you so you can see. That's better. I can get my shoulder in a bit further. Right, so I'm going to go down a size on bowl gouge. So I'm going down to 3/8. All of mine are ground the same, so I can jump between 10 mil, 1/4 inch, or the ½ inch which I've been using. So this one's a 3/8. So I
MG
can
Wood. Sorry,
say
MG
jump straight
Woodworks is
on the
in. Yep.
bevels, and knowing that the bevel is exactly the same. Mine are all sharpened to 45 degrees.
MG Woodworks is in. That's Leo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over in foreign places.
Yes, somewhere.
That's better.
Casey says it looks purple. That's probably because it is purple in places. It's a very, very nice colour by the look of it.
So I think now I've got below the 4-5 branch knots in the side. I can remove the centre, the faceplate. It's only held on by inch 8 screws. I'm trusting my tool control as much as relying on the wood not to play silly buggers and jump off. And don't forget, most of what you do is down to the way you do it, the way you present the tool. Yeah, that'll be okay. No one else can take the blame apart from you if it goes wrong.
Message from Barry. New Zealand they are made, Keith. And I'm not quite sure what that's referring to.
What was that? Sorry.
New Zealand they are made.
Right.
Good tidings by Barry has said.
Okay. Tool rest is a fraction low. So I get the nose in, I'll be well away.
Stuart Angrui is in.
Hi, Stuart. There's a lump of end grain there where the knot comes up through.
Oh, right, yeah.
Making it jump. Glasses are fogged up again.
You have to stop breathing.
Oh, okay, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm only spinning about 400.
Katie says it's very pretty wood. Yes, it is indeed. Another question, question from Douglas Mungham is: being you, would this be a showpiece?
Not necessarily a showpiece, but it would be a piece that dictates the extra couple of pound to some of the other more local, easily accessed woods. And I can put provenance on this as well, because this is part of the yew tree that Percy by Shelley, the well-known down south here poet, is supposed to have sat below and composed some of his scribblings. A bit before my time.
Yeah.
And we don't know what size it was. When he was sat underneath of it. But it was about a good 2 foot diameter when it fell over under the chainsaw.
Well, he was born in 1792 and died in 1822, so it's a pretty old bit of timber.
Well, I was told it was in excess of 600 years.
That could well be true. If it was big enough to sit under, it had been growing for a long time before he was born then, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bleaching it out for you guys, is it? No.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Just
A little bit now, but that's all right. Now you've got to be able to see. So
yeah, I can.
that's better. That's better.
So I can reduce the output on this one as well.
Ah, right. Yeah, that's helpful. Yes, he's not actually doing it in reverse at the moment, Ward, but it makes it easier to see what you're doing if you're cutting on the other side of the bowl at times.
And plus you're throwing all the shavings away from yourself, which I am doing anyway at the moment. So
yeah,
it's nice to have the facility and the ability to do it.
Keith, Chris is asking what tool are you using right now, please? That was what Katie asked.
It's a 3/8 bowl gouge from Hamlet, I think. No, it didn't. It's Crown. And I'm only using this because it's sharp. I think the edge has gone off for this one. I will try it. Nope, that edge is good.
And Leo says priceless wood then. Well, yes, there is that. When it has a provenance like that. And Ward's saying that his MIDI headstock doesn't pivot.
Right.
It's useful if you can, but lots of people have the ones that don't, and they manage. So
yeah, it's not life-threatening.
No.
It's just nice to have it.
It is a little added bonus, particularly if you've got something that's too big to go above the bed bars.
Not much more to come out of that. It's basically clean up that bottom corner.
It's lovely, isn't it? Look at that.
So I'm working with a 1/2-inch bowl gouge now, and that's a fairly tight corner down there. I'm not going to swap over to this modern bottoming gouge that everyone's on about. I don't see the necessity. We didn't used to have them. we used to manage.
Yeah. Barry Chitty says, having just got the facility of pivoting the headstock, he agrees.
Well worthwhile.
Yeah, it is. It just takes a bit of pressure off. Yeah,
Barry. Yeah.
I don't use mine as much as I should, but I don't use reverse as much as I should either. But right, Cornish Maid. Katie is asking, so why does it have purple in it? Someone's probably already asked and I missed it. I'll blame Chris.
Okay, blame Chris, but
blame Chris. But yeah, the answer is
with you. It's much the same as oak. If you put a nail or a screw or a fixing or put metal into it, the tannin in the wood will react with the metal. So in oak, it will turn it black. In ash, it will turn it grey. Silver birch, it will turn it grey. Yew, it will turn it purple.
Simple as that.
So quite possibly just above where that branch was, they'd used it as a firing range.
Yeah.
Or there was some metal buried into it, nails buried into it, fixings of some sort buried into it.
It can even be a bit of wire that's wrapped around it. Yep.
Yep. and it would have been there for some time. It's the acidic rain working with the metal, giving you the pretty colours. Just need to get rid of a little bit of a ridge just down the bottom there.
So we're not suggesting that everybody goes around banging nails into yew trees, are we?
No, because you probably need to wait 50 odd years to see
I think
the
you may not be alive when it's ready.
the proper
Yeah,
results.
yeah. But it is quite a stunning effect. It's
See, something like this, it could have been that lady of the house hung her washing line over it, metal washing line. It didn't have string or any strength in those days, so it would have been metal. So she would have draped that on there, left it for 5-10 years before it rusted through, and they couldn't be bothered to take it off, so they'd put a new one up. So over a good few many years, you could have had 3 or 4 bits of wire wrapped around it,
yeah.
all adding to the effect.
Brian with a Y has got a question for you.
Go on.
And he says hello to everybody, so he's come
Hello,
in
Brian.
obviously. Keith, I see that your bowl gouges have rounded edges at the top of the flute. His are sharp, Benjamin's best. Would there be any harm in grinding away the sharp edges?
So, have I knocked the camera? That's better.
Yeah. I meant to say that earlier, yeah. No, I meant to tell you. I forgot.
Right, like that. Are you meaning? You could come up to a very sharp point, but I get rid of that sharp point by just
I think it's
rolling
where your thumb is. Where your thumb is now. I think he's talking about at the top of the flute, all the way along. He's got sharp edges there.
Just take them off with a bit of wet and dry paper.
Yeah, not a problem. Take them off. Yeah, absolutely.
I can run my thumb up and down there without a problem, without cutting it. But the last thing you want to do is it be as sharp as the top of the wing, and you cut your finger on it.
Disaster. Yeah, he said at the top of the flute. So yes, I'm sure that's what he's talking about. So you can soon tell us if we got it wrong.
Yeah, mine is ground to 45 degrees. There. On all of mine, bowl gouges, spindle gouges, even my scraper. And then what I do is I ease the back of it so that the heel isn't so sharp and pointed, and I run that through at about 25 degrees. So it just knocks a bit off the back. So it just makes it easier, and that also gives me the opportunity to get up round the curve.
The bit you were just talking about, yep.
Yeah.
Clive Rogerson says he found a length of nylon cord in an apple log. Didn't change the colour at all.
No.
No, there's a surprise.
Were the knickers clean that were hanging on it as well? Just got a little bit right at the top there. Now I'm pulling the scraper up to about 45 degrees, not quite 35, 40, just to make it an easier shear cut rather than the wood banging down square on top of it.
Does make a difference, doesn't it? Oh, Brian says thanks. Yes, that was what he meant. His are razor sharp at present. I think in the interests of your fingers, I would take the edge off those.
Yeah, make that one of the first jobs that you do when you get back in the workshop.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll constantly have little cuts. I don't think there's ever any time that would be an advantage.
Right, let's have a stop and have a look. See what we've got. Now I've got a nipple in the middle. Thought I had.
Mhm.
We have the technology to get rid of that.
Like I did on the bottom of my barrel today.
Mm.
That's gone now. It's all beautifully flat.
Well, there's Thorne's got the right idea. If you don't want a nipple in the middle of your bowl, don't put one there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Completely right. You can't argue that at all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And it's not that difficult to get rid of either, is it? But it happens from time to time.
It can be, depending on what
Mm.
the wood is. New
Yeah.
is not the
That
easiest to
that
sand out, is it?
laburnum that laburnum this afternoon had the core of the branch just off centre, and it was quite a tough little bit, and I think that was not helping.
Oh, the brown
Yeah,
star in there. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, and that was not helping, I think. But it got all right in the end. So, oh, Ward Wilson says that barrel was fantastic. Thank you, Ward. Very kind. I was pleased with it. So,
Yes, it turned out well, didn't it?
and we'll see what the club thinks of it tomorrow night.
Oh, you're going to take it, are you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't mind what they say. They can say
No.
what they like.
Yep. There's several of us here that are happy with it, so.
Yeah. There are always things you can criticise, always. But not too many on that, I hope. We'll find out.
Being man enough to take them as well.
Yeah. Yes, there's no point going in for a competition if you're not going to listen to criticism.
Providing it is criticism and not you could do that. I would have done that rather than.
Not sour grapes or whatever. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
We used
Too
to have
much.
quite a lot of that at club at one time.
Too much of that. Yeah. But it's not bad at the moment. I don't think. I've got to say that because I'm supposed to be running competitions now, aren't I? So when he eventually hands over to me.
Right. Which South Down?
No, the
West Sussex.
West Sussex, yeah.
Right.
No, South Down. I just do the library
Right.
videos or CDs and books and magazines.
It's just in that bottom corner. It doesn't pick up on the.
But that's going to provide a nice contrast. That white looks like sapwood, isn't it? When it's done.
Right. 80.
Gerard says, Andy, criticism is easy, but art is difficult.
For a lot of people, taking the criticism isn't easy either.
No, that's absolutely, yeah. Douglas says, Andy, there were some things wrong. No beer and no tap.
You wouldn't have got drunk out of it, Douglas.
No, certainly not. It's more likely to keep biscuits in it, I think.
Well, you might have.
Not very many.
Had a whiskey in it, but that would have been about it.
Yeah. Yes, you're right, Ward. Constructive criticism is great, and it is great because you can actually learn from it if you listen. But malicious is not so good.
No, we had one member that only wanted to. Well, I would do this, I would do that, I would do this, I would do that. So in the end, a lot of us said, "Well, sod it, then you do it."
Yeah.
And he was wondering why there was no one else in the competition with him. Or no one had put anything into the competition that he was judging.
Yep. Doesn't cost much to be polite, does it?
Well, if you're going to offer a reason that you don't like it, offer an explanation of the why you don't like it as well.
That's right. so that they can actually do something about it if they choose to.
Mm.
But just to say I don't like it, I wouldn't have done it that way. That doesn't help anybody. I must admit, my experience at both clubs, they've been very, very constructive in their comments. Even when I came top of the advanced section on the was it the goblet I made, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he just said he said you'd have had absolute maximum marks. I only lost 1 mark, but I've had a maximum marks if I'd just got rid of a tiny, tiny little hole in the underneath of the foot.
Right.
But in fact, it was so thin I didn't dare sand it anymore. So, but that was a genuine comment. So I
Yeah.
don't mind that. That's all right. And yes, I know that mark was there. And they do go over it with a very fine tooth comb, don't they?
Yes.
Especially in
Yeah.
the advanced group. I mean, it's quite right that they should as well. Yes, Douglas, absolutely.
But I've got a silly bit of tear out that doesn't want or didn't want to disappear.
Oh dear. What, not backwards either?
No, I'm still on 80. It's just down the bottom there where the
All right. Yeah, I can
one of
see the
those
mark.
between the knots.
Yeah, yeah.
So a little bit of very light hand power sanding.
Ben, typical comment from Ben. I accept all criticism so long as they're compliments.
Mm. Well, I think we'd all like to be that way, Ben. Right. Let's see what we got now. That's moved it.
It's looking better, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of hand sanding was all it needed. So that was 80. It's a reasonable bit of 120. It's not new, but it's not that bad.
Well, Barry's asking if we're entering the coming club competition. That's the inverted turning, isn't it?
Involuted turning.
Yeah, I've got a couple of blanks, but I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I'm not sure I should
I
get
won't
around
be.
to it.
Because you need a workshop to be able to prepare the blanks.
Yeah,
And
they had some that I brought some away with me, but I
right.
don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it. It's the first Sunday of next month, isn't it? So it's not very long.
Yeah, it's not my thing anyway.
I'm not that keen. I tried it once, and I've sold the
I've done
bits
it.
made, and
Had a
was
go.
quite pleased with them. But I'm not really turned on by it.
Right, that's 120.
And it doesn't lend itself to demonstrations, does it?
No.
Because of all the gluing and things you have to do.
All the prep work.
Yeah, yeah.
We can run a demo just on prep work.
Yes. Gerard says, I don't criticise, I'm not advanced enough to warrant it, so you have nothing to fear from me. Some of your work, Gerard, I've seen, it looks very, very nice. I haven't seen any recently, but you put some on a year or two ago. It was lovely. When you're retired, of course, you'll be able to do as much as you like.
Yeah. Apparently his cooking's quite good.
Well, I'd like to test that. But,
That's 120, 240.
in fact, yes, you're in Cork, aren't you, Gerard? Or somewhere near Cork.
He's in Ireland.
Yeah, I think next year probably we might be going to Ireland for a holiday. I've never done Belfast, and we're going to go down to Cork. I did Dingle, which was rather lovely. Go and sample some of Gerard's cooking.
Even if you knock on his front door.
Yeah.
Right, this last.
I shall introduce that to management. Sorry,
Right.
go on.
So that last one was 400, as I could. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
I'd like to finish in 400. It just feels nice, doesn't it?
Just makes a difference, doesn't it?
Even if I'm using Yorkshire grit, I still finish to 400.
Right. Just going to go around the edge of that, the very edge of it.
Ben's saying,
240 to start with, and then just attack it with 400.
Yeah. Ben's saying one thing he's learnt is to finish a piece, even if it's not going well. The next day, you're usually less self-critical, so it might be passable. And if it isn't passable, then you've got a chance to do something about it.
Yeah, or put it on the fire.
Or put it on the fire, yeah, whichever. But,
you've got two finishing options open to you.
He's saying I'm too kind. He's humbled by my comment. But now, this is Gerard. Now too bloody busy with cooking as we have no staff. But yes, he's in Cork. Only 273 days to. Oh, so when you coach till he's retiring. Yeah, we'd have to be a bit early next year, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I must work that one out.
Oh, stand up and have a breather.
Yeah. Benjamin, in his usual style, is stirring things. He said he'd love to visit Gerard's restaurant and ask for a super well done steak. That would upset him.
Or,
yeah.
Right. Right.
Here we go.
Yep.
It all starts to zing, doesn't it?
All of a sudden the colours pop, don't they?
Yeah, it's lovely.
I might do in a minute because it smells a bit. Promise not to start dancing on the ceiling. I'll leave the extractor on for a few seconds.
Yes.
Making you cough, is it?
It is, yeah, it's dreadful. Yes, it's not his restaurant, he's the head chef. But that's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
The head chef decides nearly all the policies. I'm with you, Katie. I like my beef cooked, not mooing. Yep.
Yeah, I prefer it cooked, but
yeah.
Don't want it. Don't like it cremated. So.
I'd rather have it cremated than bleeding, though.
Yeah, although I've eaten it almost dripping.
Yeah.
In the past.
Alison likes it blue. Yeah. Wivy Woodshed, Andrew's saying, or go and ask him for a burger, Ben. That could upset him, although they do some very nice burgers in some restaurants.
Steak burgers, yeah. Well, you've got to accommodate the kids that go in with the adults, and the kids haven't got a clue.
That's right. And as Katie says, charcoal is good for you.
Yeah. Especially if you've had a tank full like they did last week.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm guessing that's probably why Chris isn't in tonight.
Yeah, it could be.
He's still not sober enough to talk properly. Oh, no, he doesn't talk properly, does he, anyway? He's Cornish.
Cornish, yeah. I wouldn't dream of joining in on that much.
You don't want the mickey taken. We have a little bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Answer your questions seriously. All right. All I've got to do now is find the mouse and get rid of that in the corner of my screen, which was driving me silly. Hour and 6 minutes, and I've still got 40 of you staring at me. Well done, guys. Appreciate that. Won't be very long now before we can reveal the full extent of the niceness.
Yeah, certainly is lovely. It was one of the best colours I've seen on you.
I've actually seen purple yew, and it's sold as purple yew.
I really want the whole thing is purple.
Yeah, but it's only been sort of pen blank sizes. It's not been big.
Oh right, yeah. Could say it'd take a lot of nails, wouldn't it?
Again, depending where it was growing.
Yeah.
If it was growing over here, depending on what it was growing, because that does make a little bit of difference to the colour. This was growing on loam in a fairly wet location. It was up fairly close to a sluice gates. So it was a wet area.
Oh, Chris says he's here, Keith. Nothing wrong with us Cornish. We do it dreekly. Lol.
Yeah.
I'm not sure quite what dreekly means, but hey.
Directly. We do it
Oh,
directly.
could be do it directly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. There's no tomorrow for Cornish. It's all done directly.
Directly. Somebody's saying you haven't got many thumbs ups, but I can't see anywhere to put the thumb up anyway.
No.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yeah, I've got it, but it doesn't have a figure. Yep.
It doesn't give you numbers.
I just
I
realised
took it off.
I was looking on StreamYard. That's why I couldn't find it.
Right, let's kill this extractor.
That's lovely, isn't it? Look at that.
Chupkey. Okay, let's go back on to. Well, you can see it quite well there.
It's lovely. That really is.
Look at that instant zoom. There you can see where all the branches, knots were. Big one just there. Another one just there.
They
Half
both
one
shout.
just there.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. And Katie's saying they both shouted at the TV, "It's directly."
I told you it was.
Not directly. Directly.
Directly. Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah. I know
Great
a little
job,
bit
Keith.
of Cornish.
I love Cornwall. We go down and see some friends of ours down there quite frequently. It's lovely.
Oh, I almost lived down there at one time. So there it is.
Yeah.
And it's
gorgeous, isn't it? That's really nice. Yeah. How's that inclusion?
That's all that's left.
Oh, that's not bad, is it? That's nice.
No.
Yeah. No, it actually fits in well.
But it actually shows up the pippin through there as well.
It does, yeah. That's lovely.
So I will get some pictures and bang it up on
Barry says that's
Facebook.
fabulous. Brian,
thanks, Barry.
With the Y, says very pretty.
Yep.
Gorgeous piece, Nick Castle. Gorgeous, Keith. Or was that gorgeous, Keith? No, it can't be that.
No. I dealt with that beef for some time, Katie, because I've got issues with the wife at the moment.
Yeah, we're hoping to get down sometime. Well, probably we're going to go this year, but it's going to have to be next year. But the people we go and see down there are in their 80s, and we don't like to impose too much. It's quite a difficult one. But they love us going down there.
Welcome, Ian. You've made it to see the end.
Oh, yes.
You're not disappointed. There we are. You can just see the purple coming round on the inside.
Very nice.
And there's the purple on the outside.
All the pipping and everything else. It's yep. They're big knots too.
They are. So here endeth tonight's lesson.
Always welcome up in West Sussex, Katie. No problem at all.
Yeah, we don't mind who we take the mickey out of up here. Yes, but it'll soon be up on the tubes, Ian, so you can watch it from the beginning at your leisure.
Yeah.
I might
But
I might go in and
the last
watch it
couple of
at
minutes are the
mine.
best bit.
Yeah, where it starts to pop.
Yeah.
So unless anyone's got
Yes.
any questions, observations, remarks.
Yeah, Gerard says that they're very jealous on that side of the pond with our ewe. I do like turning it, I must admit. It is gorgeous. Mind you, having said that, that laburnum was good too.
Yep, yep.
Both bits.
The laburnum that I did last week, I haven't had chance to. No, I haven't had chance to finish, but that's what it looks like so far. But looking at the underneath, under here, under the lip,
Oh, a
it
couple of
wants
bits.
more gold on there. Yeah, it's a bit crappy, but that's the shape minus. Well, that's the
Minus the
bottom
bottom bit,
down
yeah.
there. But that's the shape
That's
I wanted,
it's
and
nice,
that's
yeah.
all hollowed through a 10 mil hole. Unless you watch the video,
He lied.
just to show you how you can win an extra couple of inches on something that
Mm, mm.
you need to.
Yep. Yes, that was a 6-inch blank that's ended up 8 inches, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Gerard. Entertaining and training. Yeah, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I know what I'm doing most of the time, so it is just me passing on my information to you. What you is best, branch or trunk?
Branch or
Doesn't
trunk,
matter,
yeah.
Douglas.
No.
Doesn't matter. With you, again, like I was saying lunchtime, if you want a 12-inch blank out of a piece of yew, branch of yew, get the yew 3 foot long, so that once it dries and shakes, you've got ample chance to cut it back and still get some usable bits out the middle. Don't know whether I can see under the wood store. It's a bit dark out here.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it is nearly dark, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, that's the wrong bit. That's all round the other side. It's all around the other side, so I can't get at it. But most of my yew is cut to about 4 foot long, and then 4 to 5 foot long, and then put in a rack, air dried over years with a loose cover over it so that the rain doesn't get in there, and I don't get many issues. The lump that we turned tonight was cut out of a 3-inch slab, but I had the whole tree slabbed into 2 and 3 inch. I was advised not to go too much in the way of 3 inch because it takes so long to dry.
Mm.
But it's given me time to perfect my skills and do what I
That's
need
why
to do.
it's quite difficult to get 4-inch nowadays, isn't it?
Yep, yep, particularly
This,
on something like you.
yeah, yeah. You
That
can
would cost you a
still.
remortgage job.
Oh yeah, you still get bits of it, but I bought
Mm,
some as you know, some ash, 4x4 ash recently down at Yandles, but it was actually quite difficult to find some.
that was
They're up
what,
to
20 odd quid?
23, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, for a short piece. So
Oh, it was only two
the
foot, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the fatter it is, the dearer it
Mm.
becomes.
Mm. Because of the drying, yeah, you can
Yeah.
understand it. Yeah,
So, but it helps us novice a lot.
yeah.
What you is best, branch or trunk? As
Go
I
with that.
was sort of
Mm.
starting to say, Douglas, it doesn't really make much difference. Don't go for anything that's really less than 2 inch. If you get anything less than 2 inch, you need to really dry it in as long a length as you can, and most of that will be perfect for cord pulls or very small goblets because it's got the colour there.
Yes, Katie, of course, Chris is welcome as well. And they're going to be here directly. directly.
Yeah,
Directly.
directly.
Get it right. Oh, hello.
So we're just about finished, guys.
Yep.
We're down to 33 still staring at us, so obviously we're doing something right still. Well, the next thing I'm going to do right is go and sit down, I think. Yeah, you could do egg cups, Katie, because they're only 52 inches diameter.
Yes. Good.
Found some green heart. I was told,
18 by 18.
yeah,
How thick?
they were 20 years. I wouldn't turn green heart
It's
personally.
wicked stuff. Wicked stuff.
If you get a splinter in you, it goes septic before you can even get indoors to find a needle to pull it out.
And it ruins your tools. You have to keep sharpening all the time.
Yeah,
So hard.
green
Well, they use
heart
it.
was what they used to use for storm defences down at the coast.
Yeah, and for bearings in a shipyard, I
Yep.
gather, which is quite amazing.
It's harder than oak.
It is. It looks a bit like oak, but it's harder than oak, yeah.
I'm sure I can put my hand on it. I did have a piece in here that I was going to offer to some unsuspecting individual.
Yeah, so if you want to get your own back, it's a good way of doing it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, this is green heart.
Cheers, Robert.
That's green heart,
Hmm.
and it is hard. What I would use that for would be pens, small pens.
Yeah, yeah.
It finishes and turns quite nice, but it's a killer on your tools.
I was given some that was being used as a mantelpiece above a fire for many years, so it was hardened as well.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Cut.
evil to turn. He gave me an offcut of just off the end of this board. I said, "Can you make me a bowl out of that?" And I stupidly said yes. And it took me ages, absolutely
Yep.
ages. It turned out beautifully. I mean, the finish was amazing,
Yes.
but it was absolute nightmare to turn. You don't forget things like that.
No, no, and I'm not going to forget things now. I'm going to say thank you very much, everybody.
Yep,
Goodbye for now. Andy's next Tuesday lunchtime.
I believe I am. I can't even remember what the
And I,
date is today.
well, it's the
24th of
24th
May.
today, and I'm not on next week.
24th of May. That's right. I'm on lunchtime, and Rich is on in the
Is on
evening.
in the evening. Yep.
And then the following one, I'm not around for lunchtime. But you're doing an evening, aren't you?
I'm doing an evening. Might do a quick pop up live
Okay.
at
Yep.
lunchtime. See how it goes.
That's on the 7th of June. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember where I am. I'm somewhere, aren't I?
You said you
Don't know.
weren't about.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember where.
No,
I just do what I'm told.
most of the time.
Well,
Anyway,
yes.
guys,
Cheers. Yeah. Good to
thank
see
you
you all.
all. Yep, nice of you to join us, and we'll see you next week. You've all got my messenger address or email address, so you can all talk to me if you want to. So whichever you need, if you've got questions. Thank you all. I'm going to hit the off button now. First one's gone.